Hello and welcome to the Iron Widow recap for those who need a refresher before reading the sequel, Heavenly Tyrant. So this is Zetian, a reimagining of China's only female emperor. In this sci-fi universe, she was not born to new money parents who were very supportive, but in a mountain village to very terrible parents. Her feet are bound because this story does not take inspiration from just the Tang Dynasty. Like, I know that historically, foot binding came after Empress Wu's reign. It's not trying to be historically accurate or there wouldn't be giant mechas. There are a bajillion sci-fi spins on the Roman Empire. This is basically that, but with pre-colonial China. Anyway, these giant mechas, called chrysalises, are created from the husks of hunduns, these massive alien machines that supposedly invaded Zetian's planet and destroyed most of civilization, after which they had to rebuild. Chrysalises require two pilots, a boy and a girl, except the boys often overwhelm the girls through the psychic pilot link, so the girl pilots end up getting seen as disposable, while the boy pilots are treated as celebrities, because they're the ones who come back. Zetian's older sister was sold by her family to become one of these concubine pilots for a very famous pilot boy, and quickly ended up in the ground. Furious, Zetian enlists for that same celebrity boy pilot in order to get revenge. Her childhood best friend, Yi Zhi, a city boy who she secretly meets in the forest every month, tries to stop her, but she does not believe in the power of love and thus chooses violence. Once she gets to the Great Wall, which surrounds her entire country of Huaxia, she successfully gets the attention of the celebrity boy pilot, but gets dragged into a battle with the Hunduns before she can off him. She is so mad about this that she mentally overpowers him in the battle link instead, and to the shock of her entire society, emerges from the chrysalis with his lifeless body. Her ruling class obviously freaks out and pairs her with Shiming, the strongest male pilot, in hopes of getting rid of her and stopping the panic. But Shiming is not a revered celebrity like the other powerful boy pilots. No, he is a death row inmate, sentenced there for offing his father and two brothers. To everyone's surprise except the readers, Zetian survives this battle with him, and so they are forced to live together because the strategists decide to train them for the prospect of taking back the Zhou province, lost to the Hunduns 200 years ago. Zetian does not like Shiming because he has a problem with alcohol, and she is very on edge after Yang Guang nearly fooled her with a nice guy act. Well, on their very first day of training together, Shiming gets scolded into beating up another pilot to defend Zetian's honor. While he's locked in solitary, rich boy Yi just shows up and reveals that he came to the Great Wall to help Zetian from within the system as a student strategist. He also reveals that he totally cyberstalked Shiming and liked what he saw. He's like totally into Shiming's vibes because he's like super smart and good at calligraphy, so he convinces Shiming to try and detox from alcohol with his emotional support. They all move in together into a little flat at the military base. Just when Shiming is having serious withdrawal symptoms, another Hundun attack comes. One strategist bursts in and wants to throw Zetian and Shiming out to battle, even though they're not fully recovered from the previous one. Turns out there's a big disagreement among the military command about what to do with him. They successfully escape and hide, but Zetian realizes that she needs to do something about how the government keeps trying to off them. She solicits help from Yi Zhi's shady media mogul dad, basically the Rupert Murdoch of the Iron Widow universe. But he refuses to get involved unless Zetian can prove that she can indeed survive another battle with Shiming. When the Hunduns attack yet again, they're still not quite recovered, but Zetian and Shiming get cornered this time, and she literally gets shot by the soldiers before getting shoved into the cockpit of the Vermilion Bird. They do survive the battle though, with the help of Yi Zhi, who adds his chi to the Vermilion Bird and balances them out. The gang then flies to the Huaxia capital, Chang'an, in order to meet Iron Widow Rupert Murdoch, who puts Zetian through a very traumatic business meeting. But she agrees to deliberately play up a very controversial image so that he can profit from clickbait and generate the funds that he needs to lobby the government into sparing their lives and letting her and Shiming lead the expedition to take back the Zhou province. Throughout all of this drama, she and Yi Zhi get together because she's done letting the world tell her who she can or cannot get with. And then she and Shiming get together because she does grow to like him and totally misread him in her first impression. And together, they concoct a plan to interrogate a military strategist into revealing military secrets. Turns out, girls are deliberately depowered in chrysalises to make sure that the boy pilots are almost always the ones who come back. Finding this out shatters Shiming's world so much that he finally gets over the guilt and other assorted emotional issues holding him back, and he and Yi Zhi get together, forming an actual love triangle that goes all three ways. Basically, set off on the big expedition with plans to do a big reveal of the truth after it's all over, but of course things don't go the way they want. They defeat the big bad in the Zhou province and take it back, but get ambushed on the military's orders by a pilot who was once friendly to Zetian. Shiming throws Zetian and Yi Zhi out of the cockpit and seemingly gets crushed alive, but we'll save that for later. Zetian then seeks out Qing Zhen, a legendarily powerful pilot who froze himself 200 years ago to stop himself from perishing from a very aggressive plague. Zetian thaws Qing Zhen and pilots his chrysalis, the Yellow Dragon, with him, using it to fly to the capital and crush the government because she has truly had enough. And then, after declaring herself empress, without really thinking about how Qing Zhen would feel about that, Zetian returns to the battlefield in the Zhou province to retrieve Shiming's body, but finds out he got taken away by the gods and is being kept in a Dragon Ball Z healing tank. Meanwhile, Yi Zhi digs through the government files and finds out that the Hunduns are the real natives of the planet, and humans are the invaders, and Zetian ends the book screaming, which I heard is what a lot of you did too, but don't worry, now most of your questions will be answered in the sequel, Heavenly Tyrant. So...